this is Eric Miscoll with EMSNOW. Welcome to the show floor at IPC Apex 2023. As you can probably tell from the green around me and on Joel's tie that we're with Koh Young America here on IPC. Joel, good to see you again.
Absolutely. Great to see you, Eric, and great to be back and be in an environment like this that is a little bit different than last year, right?
I think it is.
This is certainly pre-COVID-esque, let's say, right?
It's day one, so hope spring's eternal here, doesn't it? So
think about it. There's really a couple years of pent-up demand, I think, for something like this. So we certainly had high expectations coming in. All the early indicators from a pre-registration perspective were very good. We had a very significant number of appointments set well ahead of arriving in San Diego, and I've seen probably as many or more that weren't on that appointment list. So
from the looks of the booth, it's full, right?
Yeah, we're slammed, and I like that.
And that's good.
We'll take it.
Listen,
we can deal with that.
I wanted to, congratulate you and get you to brag a little bit. You just won 2 new product introduction awards.
We did.
One for the system behind us, the Neptune C, and the other one we won't see, but the KPO over here.
Sure, absolutely. No, and I love bragging. So yes, we did. We won the Circuits Assembly NPI Award for our Neptune, which is focused on dispensed process inspection, right? Conformal coating, underfill, potting. Our strong differentiator in that world is we're doing not only the 2D inspection of conformal coating or any of those aforementioned materials, but also doing thickness measurement using our 3D lift technology, laser interferometry for fluid tomography. It's a mouthful, but what we found is that technology lends itself very well to 3-dimensional thickness measurement very quickly, i.e. production speeds. So where there are systems out there that can do that, they're very slow. So to be in a production environment, to be in an inline processing environment, you have to be able to do that at production rates. So yeah, we were very excited and humbled to be chosen for that award. And then the second, as you mentioned, was our KPO for the printer, Koh Young Process Optimizer for the print process, and that really includes the final phase of that piece, right? So we've been talking over the last few years about something we call the analyzer module, which is where we do the automated design of experiments and basically give you a very accurate recommendation for speed, pressure, and stencil release, speed and pressure of the squeegee and stencil release. The final piece to that is now using all of that information supported by our proprietary AI engines to take control of that printer fully for speed, pressure of the squeegee and stencil release. So again, very humbled. Really the result of a lot of support, investment in R&D, the drive to make sure that we're continuing to push the envelope. I sat through a presentation from Dr. Koh yesterday, who presented to our entire team. Passion is unbelievable still. The man is not sitting still, and a lot of new and exciting things on the horizon. This was a big initiative of his. It's coming to fruition. It's finally to the point where we're ready for official release, and again, we're very excited about the potential for all of that.
Now, the other one, we spoke about this before, is the pre-reflow. Sure. AOI. I mean, that continues to be good for you, I assume?
It absolutely does, and it's, again, somewhat of a buzz topic here at the show. We see that, and I think a lot of people are also starting to see that, as we've made a lot of noise about it over the last year and a half, and it's really the next big thing in terms of where can I pick up yield improvement, cost reduction in the standard SMT assembly line. And again, by simply implementing pre-reflow, now I'm catching all of those non-solder related defects before that solder joint is formed, and being able to address those at a huge cost savings as opposed to doing it post-reflow. The other piece to that is the fact, well, 2 other pieces actually. The fact that supply chain issues persist. I think we've talked about in the past that might be the new normal. With that, being guaranteed of getting reels of parts that are consistent, having people that know how to operate the systems completely, both are in question these days, right? So with that, there's just a lot more risk for creating defects, through having wrong parts introduced, having an operator override a system that is designed to basically prevent that from happening, right? But again, new, not just familiar with the process, how the technology works. So these things are driving some of that for sure. The other big piece is the closed loop feedback with the pick and place system, right? So KPO, again, Koh Young process optimizer for the mounter, is now basically using that inspection information for those let's say solder anomalies to feed back to the pick and place system, skew, missing, wrong part, all of those kinds of things, and identifying those defects, or tying, I should say, those defects to a specific feeder, spindle, nozzle, and even with the ability to do X shift, Y shift, right? So positional. So now kind of back to that whole self-healing, just like with the screen printer, I've got a hands-off system that can ensure that I'm not building any more of what I shouldn't be building than I absolutely have to.
And the differentiator in all that is the AI. You mentioned that easy. I mean, that's what's allowing all of these systems, right?
It certainly is. And again, that's been a hot topic just this morning. I've had several people come in and ask about, what is our roadmap for AI? And I responded that it's basically infinite. So, we've made a huge investment. We have our research center here in San Diego, where we're focused on creating proprietary AI engines that are really centric to the measurement-based, 3D measurement-based data that we're generating. And I think that's of huge importance. And we're not using something that's off the shelf. We're basically integrating it into the data that we're able to provide through our 3D measurement capabilities, which nobody else has. So we think this is a huge benefit, a huge differentiator, and we're seeing that play out as we continue to roll out these smart factory tools, and it will continue to absolutely be a huge piece in our growth and our customers' satisfaction and their success in getting to a level of what I would call real smart factory realization. Our goal is to be able to provide the smartest smart factory. That's really what we're going for here, because we know there will be different levels, but we're aiming to take that to its highest levels.
So tell me, looking forward, we're starting the year, we're at Apex, you got a full booth, you got a lot of people here. What are your expectations for 2023?
Well, I think they're a little better than they are when I walked in this morning, right? We were not overly pessimistic coming into the year. Most of the feedback that I had gotten in Minneapolis in talking with customers, and just in talking with customers through the last quarter of last year, told me that they're not overly concerned. Now, order cancellations can always happen. Things can change quickly, but they have backlogs. They have full bookings. And if I look around, they have projects, right? So, again, I think we're going to find as we go through this week that's exactly what we're going to hear, that we're going to hear those same things. Our safety net in this, I think, to a degree, also is the fact that, we're aligned with customers that are building product for the hot industries right now. EV, 5G, mil-aero, on and on and on. And now we get into what we feel is going to be a huge expansion in wearables with the whole hospital to home initiative, right? Where now people are more accepting of that, right? I think COVID kind of proved that we can do that to some degree. I'm still not a big fan. I like to go see my doctor if I can, right? But, it's where we're at. And you take that next level with all the other things that used to have to be done in a hospital. Now we can at least do the monitoring and some of the other aspects of that in a home environment. Just intense ramp up in more automation for robotics in particular. You look at what Amazon's doing with automating their warehousing. There's just an immense amount of activity right now in all those market sectors, and a lot of funding that's being provided to make sure they go, which is also not a bad thing in terms of ensuring those markets are strong, at least for a certain period of time.
And those are the markets for the North American market. The sectors, I mean, for the North American market.
Yeah,
so
yeah. We're not building cell phones and
not doing the 3 Cs.
Exactly. Yeah, so. And those are the ones that probably need to be a little more concerned, and we're seeing that kind of play out in our regional analysis. So, we feel like we're in a good spot, and if this is any indication of how the year's going to go, as I said, I'm going to remain optimistic. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you've always been optimistic. You have to be. And
you make it happen, right? Yeah, that's what you do. That's what I tell our team. Exactly. So, have goals, plan your work your plan.
There it is. That's from scuba diving. I remember that. They used
there
to
you
teach
go.
us that.
That's
dive
right.
Plan. So, yeah. Joel, it's great catching up. I wish you a successful show and a good year, and I'm sure we'll catch up later this year at some point.
Absolutely. Thank you. No, I appreciate that very much, and always enjoyed the opportunity to talk, and look forward to talking again.